music person and you love music and you want to see it in its rawest form before it becomes a smash hit, you have come to the right place. Sit back and enjoy Artist Studio Access.
They landed up and wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys.
John's recording, they lived it up, then wrote it down. I wrote that song with Whispering Bill Anderson from the Grand Ole Opry and a guy by the name of Lance Miller. Lance has had a lot of success lately. He had a hit on Thomas Rhett, Michael Ray, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. And it was the first song that Lance and Bill and I had ever written together.
Oh, you have no choice. And led him to that mountaintop where he nearly lost his life. But he lived to write a book of songs about how country boys survive. Got them all in there. They lived it up, they wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys. They had bucked and bruised and kicked around. They took their pain, their voices rang till the whole world sang like country sound. All because they lived it up and lived right down. I think I'll live it out tonight. Oh, I lived to write it down.
2 bars of 1 extra. So move your coda sign 2 bars later, or add 2 bars to the coda. I'm gonna add 2 bars to the coda.
Take this guitar, you have no choice.
2 bars of 1? 2 bars of 1, add to the top of the codas. Okay. Split those bars. Sure. For some reason, it seems like Steve can't hear John singing, and I don't know. Maybe it's just his. Maybe it's probably just check is more me. I'm running mine on. I'm running mine on 3, and I'm running mine on 3, and I got plenty of it. Oh, is that Tom playing? No. Oh, is that Tom playing? No. We gotta have that. We gotta have that. We need real acoustic and that thumb style going beside. So you guys choose sides, and Steve's just playing a rhythm pass this time. So Tom will be fine in the room. That bleed will be okay. That's great, Tom. And Joe, when we get to those choruses, do the wailing doom, change, up bass, G down a 4, down a change, doom. How's it sounding in there? Bob, you good? Okay.
Artist Studio Access.
And 2. Let's see, we got 2, 3. Oh man, that's going to be awesome. Are we 1 too slow, or does our pocket feel good? Good. All right. How's it feeling, Bobby? Great. All right. So yeah, second time we get it to 50. Is it 58 or 53? That's a breakdown the second time for the turn. Yeah. All right. You can't hear John singing? For some reason, it seems like Steve can't hear John singing, and I don't know, maybe it's just his, maybe it's probably just check is more me. I'm running mine on 3, and I'm running mine on 3, and I got plenty of him. I told you we drug him into the trenches with us. Okay, here we go. Watch this. And 2. Let's stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Everybody got the click? Here we go. And 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 3.
Tell the world the truth, then you can't always look them in the eye. Then along came Brandon Man, bring me back home and Mom cried. Hank never knew his daddy, but he carried on his name with his own voice. It was in the hand of destiny. Said, son, take this guitar, you have no choice. And it led to that mountaintop where he nearly lost his life. But he lived to write a book of songs about how country was alive. They lived it up and wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys. They been bumping through and kicked around.
I don't know that there's a lot of artists right now that are doing those kind of songs.
Right.
And but we knew we liked it a lot, and we're glad John liked likes it.
John loves it. It's one of my favorites.
We're glad John loves it. Now we love it. Bill had this, he had the idea, he had seen a documentary on Hemingway, or maybe he read an interview about Hemingway, and someone said, yeah, he lived it up, and then he wrote it down. And then Bill shared the idea, and we thought, well, hey, instead of he lived it up, why don't we change it to they lived it up? And it's a tribute song.
So when you hear a song for the first time, you just know whether it's right or not. Now, that's not to say that some songs are good and some songs are bad. What it is to say is that some songs are right for me or right for you. Because not every song is right for everybody.
It's a Haggard, Merle Haggard, Hank Williams Jr., Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson. And it was a lot of fun to write.
So when I heard the first line, they were all kinds of crazy, but it kept them from going insane. I can't tell you how many times I've talked about Waylon Jennings' million shipping album. First one ever in country music, shipped 1 million, was I've Always Been Crazy. So Bill Anderson had me from there. It's like, okay, I want to hear what's coming up.
We just had a lot of fun that day. We weren't thinking about trying to write a song for the radio. We wrote that one for us, and now everyone really likes it. There's a lesson in that.
Old Hag had been to prison, but Johnny told him not to be ashamed. So in the first part of the first verse, we've got Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, and Johnny Cash, and we're not even through with the first verse yet. And then this lyric comes out, which sounds like something Johnny Cash would have said. You tell the world the truth, then you can always look them in the eye.
That's true. That's another thing. We knew the stories on all of those artists. And heck, the truth is, Bill, he knew all those guys.
Bill Anderson managed to say in that line that Johnny Cash told Merle Haggard everything was cool, don't worry about where you've been, it's all about where you're going. Tell everybody the truth, which inspired Merle Haggard to write. And then the next line of the song is,
Then along came Branded Man, sing me back home and Mama tried.
my gosh, that's an awful lot of history in the first verse of a song.
Bobby T, you happy?
I love they lived it up and then wrote it down after this session. My gosh, I mean, it was just perfect for John's vocal. Again, he owned it, as he always does. But I didn't realize Steve Warner was going to be playing on this session. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. We write, but I'm like, I'm coming in here, and I'm like, oh, I thought he had left. And there he is playing the lead guitar and just killing it.
I forget it. I got to work that back up.
Then Tom Brash playing that Merle Travis style. Matt and just all the guys, man. Just a lot of excitement. The energy on that song totally took it to another level.
Then he goes on to talk about Hank and Hank Jr. Hank never knew his daddy, but he carried on his name with his own voice, as if the hand of destiny said, son, take this guitar, you have no choice. And it led him to that mountaintop where he nearly lost his life. But he lived to write a book of songs about how a country boy survived. What wonderful history.
I told you you were next. Okay.
So without this man, it's just wires and plugs and microphones and stuff and faders and faders. It has to be captured right. It has to be mixed right. And it has to have an atmosphere in here. If the caliber of you guys out there feel that the guy in here doesn't know what he's doing, it'll affect what you're doing. Because it's like, well, why bother playing one of those? Why bother playing our best if that idiot's not going to get it right, right? But you know that this guy is every bit as good as you guys are, and it's like, oh heck, we better get this. We better get this right, because Bob's going to record it, and it's going to last forever, and it's going to be beautiful. Whether it sucks or not, it's going to be recorded well. I had the great opportunity to sing this song on the stage at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, the Mother Church. And just before I went on, I saw Bill Anderson, and Bill said, "You're going to do the song?" And I said, "Yeah. And by the way, I'm telling everybody that I wrote it." He said, "You go on ahead, you go on ahead." This was before the show. And then I did the show, and the third verse is about Willie.
I love the Willie Nelson verse.
Absolutely.
They never understood him when he wore his mohair suits and skinny ties. So Willie took old Trigger.
Kiss my old ass goodbye.
Kiss my Nashville ass goodbye.
Said, "You can kiss my Nashville ass goodbye." On a Bloody Mary morning, he was on the road again in Texas bound. He's living it up somewhere tonight so he can write it down. I got backstage and Bill said, "Hey, come here." I said, "What?" He said, "John, I want you to know something." I'm thinking, okay, what's that? And he said, "I think you may be the only person to ever sing the words, 'Kiss my Nashville ass goodbye,' from the center stage of the Ryman Auditorium."
Like in the song, they lived it up and then wrote it down. You know, as I mentioned, the song is a tribute to Merle Haggard, Willie, Waylon, Hank Jr. Well, heck, Bill has worked with most of those guys. I mean, he remembers when Haggard, came to town the first time. I mean, he remembers Willie back in the days of the short haircut, Waylon with the short haircut. Bill toured with Hank Williams Jr. when he was a teenager, before Hank, had the outlaw image, when he was, for the most part, singing his dad's songs. So he actually, he watched Hank Jr. really become Bocephus and become the superstar. He watched, the same thing happen with Willie, leaving Nashville. He had been here for several years and couldn't land radio success. And so he was around when Willie told Nashville to kiss his ass goodbye.
And I thought for a second, I said, as they were coming out of my mouth, I wondered. And my first thought was, he said, "What?" And I said, as soon as I see Bill, I'm going to give him all the credit for writing this song. I'm just a singer.
Okay, I got a 4-bar spot, guys.
Yeah.
They didn't understand him when he wore his mohair suits and skinny ties. So Willie took old Trigger, said, "You can kiss my Nashville ass goodbye." On a Bloody Mary morning, he was on the road again in Texas bound. He's living it up somewhere tonight so he can write it down. They lit it up and wrote it down. They were more than drugstore cowboys. They've been bucked and bruised and kicked around. They took their pain, their voices rang, till the whole world sang that country sound. All because they lived it up and then lived to write it down. I think I'll live it up tonight. Sure hope I live to write it down.